What was a great joke that you worked on? You put a lot of effort into it, and it was going to be amazing, and you dropped it, and no one cared. And why didn't they laugh?
Meaning, you're saying what a joke that didn't go well that I bombed, that bombed.
Yeah, not bombed because you made a mistake
It
necessarily,
just
or maybe you
wasn't a
did.
joke
But
that was
what
so
was one
funny.
joke like? Yeah, no, or maybe it was, or you really thought it was. What was like something that was this is going to be amazing, and then you dropped it, and it just didn't work? Or did that ever happen to
Never
you?
happened. No, I haven't worked that hard on that joke. I'm trying to think because there's also times where it's like early iterations of a joke, and you're like, I think this is so funny, and then just falls flat. I mean, I've started saying this joke where I talk about El Al, and I used to say this joke like, I used to fly El Al. When I went to Israel, I flew El Al because I forgot what it was like to fly El Al. And then now I started saying this joke, and I say, and it's I guess it's too raw where I say, I fly El Al because there's no other choice. Like nobody laughs at that joke. Nobody laughs. So then,
It's a good joke.
then I started picking it up again, and I said, well, a lot of people are talking about Netanyahu extending the war. I think El Al was extending the war, which again is a very dark joke. But I'm like, when LL, I said LL has really tested our devotion here, where it's like, hey, you're supportive of Israel, huh? How supportive? $3,000 a ticket supportive? How much do you want to go? So there's again the same thing that like, and Judaism will say this too. Is like the whole tshuva process. I mean, Kisi said with the Egel is being able to learn from our mistakes and like you know ironic. I think what the Mishkan is a permanent reminder of the Egel, essentially, that like, by the way, God's always here even if Moshe disappears for a month and a half. Like there's always this God's presence, which again is the lesson of Gullus, that we're like, oh yeah, like you know um so to be able to learn from what doesn't work, which is again a the comedy thing of you can really be meticulous and be like, okay, why didn't this work? And sometimes it's the setting, and sometimes, hey, you had a person doing a geriatric home care presentation right before your show at the corporate holiday party, so you didn't do great, but also that didn't help, which is a true story. But being able to resilience, and this is one of these like parenting books that I'm like listening to on audiobook, is because it's easier when I drive, is resilience. Being able to be resilient, and that's probably the best quality of the Jewish people is resilience. Again, like I said, during 2 weeks, people are creating apps about is there a time to shower? A, because it's funny and it's practical. And like I said, making a dating app where people are like, hey, maybe people will meet each other, like and stuff like that. Being able to just take the world we have, how messed up it is, and how many decks are stacked against us in this world, and being able to overcome all of that is the and that's Purim. I mean, we're almost in Nissan, so I don't know if I'm allowed to make Purim stuff, but like being able to turn it around, not just use God. I mean, Hashem's not in the Megillah mentioned, but like be able to not just have God turn things around, but being able to turn it around ourselves.